Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I got yesterday's date all backwards. Today is September 28th, Wednesday. Yesterday was September 27th, Tuesday. And I did my video so early in the morning. My brain was pretty dysfunctional. I apologize for that. However, at the end of the video, if you watched it all the way to the end, I reiterated, and I did get the day of the week right at least. So tomorrow's Thursday, the 29th, right? So, I am just so amazed with some of the comments that I'm getting and some of the subscribers that I'm getting. I think I got like 100 new subscribers in the last 24 hours or so. It's really heartwarming, and I just can't tell you what it means to me. Like it's not about money. I have no idea if I'll make any money with this, and I honestly don't really care. I'm not motivated by money. I am motivated by truth and justice and integrity. So this case with Kiely Rodni has just been killing me. I know it's been killing a lot of people. No pun intended. Seriously. It's so strange from the ground up, and the gaslighting is just everywhere. The bizarro upside down, everything. Everything. I mean, I don't need to tell you. If you're paying attention to the Kiely Rodni case, you're probably about as disheartened as I am. I do have other cases that I want to cover, and at the same time, I just feel like we can't let up on the Kiely Rodni case. We've got to put the pressure on the authorities. Authorities, politicians do respond to the public. And if they get hassled, basically, if they get a lot of complaints, they'll do something. So I'm asking each and every one of you to try to contact the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. Email, telephone. Email is usually the best way to go, but some people still like the phone. And just ask them the status of the case. And if there's going to be any arrests, maybe. I don't know. When the Gabby Petito case happened, there were, there was that traffic stop on August 12th, right outside of Moab at the Delicate Arches. And I think most of us were pretty horrified with what we saw in the body cam footage. And there were several law enforcement officers there, most of which have been promoted by now. The body cam footage just, it showed some guys that were young and caring and didn't know what to do and totally fell for Brian Laundrie's crap, right? The sexism is just profound. I mean, Gabby was this adorable young woman, and, she was crying. So they just wanted to placate her and dismiss her. And Brian wasn't crying, and he was all cool, calm, and collected, and oh, she's crazy. Yeah, she's OCD. And, she said herself, I'm OCD. As a mental health professional, I seriously doubt that she's diagnosable OCD. And, some of those obsessive traits are what help a person succeed with something like a blog or a vlog, whatever she called it with her van life stuff. And, that whole case ended so tragically, right? One of the most tragic things from my perspective is that the body cam video from the female park ranger still has yet to be released. It's been over a year. And I've made a request for it. I know several people that have made requests for it. I don't know if anybody watching wants to make a request for it, but it seems to me that there's probably something in that video from the female park ranger. She took Gabby aside and spoke with her one-on-one. So what did she say to her, and why are they not releasing it? I think when I put in my request, they might have said something like, "Oh, it's still under investigation," but I don't think it is. So, I'll follow up on that. That's the thing with public records requests, is that they often do deny them, and it's up to you to figure out how to re-ask, basically, and say, well, are you still under investigation, or can you release it now? So, a few things that I wanted to talk about. Man, you get so thirsty when you're talking, huh? A few things that I've been wanting to talk about that I haven't yet. And, I'm a woman. I grew up on the East Coast and the West Coast and the Midwest. And, young women are very, very body conscious, especially in California, right? So, we've all seen the pictures of Kiely and how gracefully slender she was. I mean, really, really slender, right? And curvy too. I mean, just like a perfect figure. I bring that up because the character in this story, the SS character, she's got a very attractive physique as well. However, she's not so skinny like Kiely was. And I can't help but wonder if there was another jealousy factor there. And the more I'm seeing videotapes and photographs, and especially older ones, of SS, it looks to me like she might have lost a great deal of weight in the last year. She was pretty full figured, right? Pretty voluptuous. And, I know from my weight going up and down that when I'm more slender, I get a lot more attention that's not necessarily wanted attention. It's kind of safer to be a little bit heavy set, honestly, right? So, now I'm old. Now I have 4 kids. I've been married for 30 years. And, I still like to take care of myself, and it's more about health. But of course, there's always vanity. I mean, especially I think as women, we can't help it. Men have a lot of advantage over women in this sexist culture that we live in, this patriarchal society. I've studied a lot of feminism and definitely consider myself a feminist. It just gets really old really quickly. I mean, basically my whole life, I was born in 1967. So, the 1970s was like the sexual revolution. The 1980s, feminism was just all the rage. I studied feminism formally in college, and it's really a part of my life. And even back then, when I was in college, I noticed straight off that, wow, women get victimized and men are the perpetrators in most cases. Not in every case, and maybe not even in this case, right? I mean, what in the world is going on here? But let me put on my glaring glasses. It just drives me nuts when I see the little reflections there, but like I said, it might not bother you guys as much. So one of the things that, I know that Paula Plunder did when she finally got the footage of Nicole Kessinger's 3-hour and 33-minute interview in the Watts case, was she continued to ask multiple times for years, probably 3 years, and then she finally drafted up a formal letter with the intent to sue, and she got that baby. I was shocked. I didn't think she'd get it. I figured that they had destroyed it. So when that was released this last year, like 6 or 8 months ago, probably 7 months ago, it really revealed so much. I mean, we'd all heard the recorded interview, those of us that have paid close attention to the Watts case, but the visual just gives you so much more. I mean, it's so revealing. People's body language. Like, for instance, the footage that we've seen of Kiely's mother hugging Sammy from behind. You know, there's a hug and then there's a what kind of hug? I mean, it's so bizarre to me, and I've seen other people make comments that, you know, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't look right and it doesn't feel right, pay attention to that and ask questions. I'm just going to come straight out and say that the whole single white female theme, I've gotten a feeling from many things that I've seen in this case that Sammy is sort of trying to become Kiely in a way. And it seems like they were going to be studying medicine at college. You know, they're both very pretty. They're both very smart. It's pretty creepy, right? I think a lot of us have noticed that. So sorry about that. Glaring glasses once again. And let's talk about the Nates. There's a fourth Nate. Oh my God. Okay, again, in the Nicole Kessinger case, in the Shanann Watts case, the Chris Watts and those beautiful baby girls, Bella and Cece, you had a whole bunch of Nicks. A whole bunch of Nickies and Nicks. I can think of 4 off the top of my head, I think. And then there was Nate, the nosy neighbor, Nate across the street or next door, that had the surveillance footage of that morning, that activity in the driveway. Interesting, in this case, we've got a couple of Nicks and we've got a whole slew of Nates. So yesterday I was delineating the 3 that I had known about, and you know, they came in kind of slowly over time. Kakubagna, the one who was arrested, was the first last name that I think a lot of us were exposed to. And then there's the Hambrick, and then I had just learned about Wu. I knew that there was allegedly a Wu child at this party. One of Placer County Sheriff Wayne Wu's kids. I didn't know a name to go with it. And I also knew that one of his kids had just graduated high school. All of his children attended a different high school in Loomis, which is another town in Placer County. I'm not going to go on about that. But a fourth Nate, Tetzlaff, Tetzlaff. Thank you to one of the people who commented on my video from yesterday. So we got 4 flippin' Nates. And, you know, I don't mind saying their names because they're all 18 and up, to my understanding. And they were all, if they were all at the party and they were all witnesses to the party, they should be talking, especially the one who's the child of law enforcement. I mean, it's just creepy as hell, right? I mean, it's so horrible. You know, the resiliency that teenagers have is admirable. Children in general, you know, they just bounce back. They can just like get on with their lives even after something extremely traumatic. And there's something to be said for that. You know, it's healthy to keep busy and to keep your routine. However, to some extent, you know, to have lost a friend in this tragic, hideous way, to have it go viral nationally and internationally, and to keep a zipper on it and not speak, because we don't want to be prosecuted by social media. Bullshit, okay? I'm just going to call it bullshit. These kids are keeping some dirty, dark secrets. It's fucking obvious, okay? Trying not to cuss, but sometimes you just got to. I mean, come on. People need to talk. Remember, it used to be snitches get stitches, and these days it's the snitches get riches. You want to be the first one to talk. You can negotiate a plea agreement, a deal. If somebody beats you to it, you're high and dry. Oh, unless your daddy's the sheriff then, or your mommy's a lawyer, or private eye, or whatever. I mean, these people, the professionals as well, need to get it together. The professionals in this case need to follow up with prosecution, in my opinion. Charging people with obstruction of justice, destroying evidence, interfering with an investigation. These are serious charges. I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. People need to get charged. If no one's going to get charged, that's a terrible, terrible joke. It's not funny at all. Kiely lost her life. People need to figure out what happened. The family needs to heal. The family absolutely cannot heal without the accurate information of exactly what went down. It's a fact. It is a fact. So let me just say, facts and fiction, everything that I say in my videos is sheerly my opinion. Even when I say it's a fact, it's still just my opinion. And it's all for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, take it with a grain of salt. So a couple of things I wanted to hit on. It's going to be shorter today than yesterday. Yesterday's was really long. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the whole crisis and commitment work that I have done in the past that I talked about yesterday. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because one of the things that I learned that I carry with me and want to speak to is that when you're documenting a case, I was using the examples of, revoking somebody's civil rights and putting them in a 72-hour psychiatric hold, or coming up with a less restrictive alternative with a safety plan, okay? And the importance of documenting why you came to the conclusion that you came to. And not just to cover your arse, so to speak, but, this is somebody's life that's in your hands. That's the thing with law enforcement. People's lives are in your hands. There is no space for corruption. There's absolutely no margin of error. I mean, if you want to live with that, not a healthy decision, not a good way to live. Anyway, you can document the same case where you can say, well, I had to revoke their civil rights because, they thought they were God and they thought that they should jump off of a building and that they wouldn't get hurt, right? Or you can document that same case, that exact same case of, well, I have this less restrictive alternative that they can go to see their therapist tomorrow and they're going to be at home tonight with family or friends that are keeping a close eye on them. And they know that although they are having delusions that they're God, they know that they're not actually God. And although they're having delusions that they can jump off of a building and not get hurt, they understand when spoken to directly about it that that's not the case. Okay? So the same information, it's like a debate. You can go one way or the other, and it's up to the professional in that situation and in law enforcement situations. So, people need to be upfront. People need to have integrity. People need to be honest. And I'm not just talking about the people that were at the party. I'm talking about the parents of the people that were at the party. So I don't like it when I feel like I'm on my little soapbox, but here I am on my little soapbox. So I just wanted to put together a short video for you this morning, and perhaps I'll have one later today. If not later today, then certainly tomorrow morning. I really like having that structure and routine and expectation. And it seems like the audience is appreciating that as well. So Thank you. I really, truly appreciate you and your comments. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Please share with your friends and family. And I will continue to do my research and try to come up with some really valuable information for you guys as we press on for justice for Kiely. All right. Peace out. Thanks.